All right, how many terms does this first one have? 3, right? It's got 3 terms. One here, and one there. All right, you got 22, you got 14, and you have 18. What number goes into all 3 of them? 22, 14, and 18. 7 then going to 22 or 18? 2. There you go.
Is that a new one?
Yes. Okay. All right, and then basically, guys, you just look at your smallest x value. What's the smallest x value? The x to the 5th, the x to the 3rd, or the x to the 6th? To the 3rd. There you go. All right, what about the y's? Y to the 7th, y to the 8th, or y to the 4th? Y to the 4. There you go. All right. Oh, there we go.
Good Tuesday morning, Warriors.
So what did you get when you divided 22 by 2? 11. And when you took out the x and the y's? And y to the 3. There you go. Very good, Mario. All right, what about when you divide negative 14 by 2? Negative 7. There you go. You took out the x to the 3. Took out 4 of those. How many got left? 4. There you go. What about 18 divided by 2? 9. You took out 3 of your x's. How many you have left? 3. And you took out all your y's. There you go. All right, we're going to come back to number 2 in just a minute, okay? Let's do number 5 for a second. How many terms does number 5 have? 4. So what do? Grouping. There you go. All right, so what do the first 2 have in common? X what? To the 4th. There you go. So you had 5 and you took out 4. How many you have left? 1. There you go. And then you took out all 4 of those. All right, what about 8 and 14? What do they have in common? There you go. Negative 2 and then xy. Very good. All right, so what's negative 8 divided by negative 2? 4. You took out the x. You took out 1 y. You got y to the 3. There you go. 14 divided by negative 2? Negative 7. And you took out your x and your y. The pastures. All right, so then what happens, Ty? They don't match up, so what do we call it if we can't factor it? Remember, start with a P. Prime. There you go. There you go. New math workshops are on the table, okay? All right, what about... All right, what about number 4? How many terms does number 4 have? How many terms? 2, right? So does it have a GCF? No. So what do you notice about 16 and 225, though? They're perfect squares. There you go. So what's the square? Bless you. What's the square root of 16m squared? 4 what? M. There you go. No, divide it by 2, you get 4m. Yep, m to the 1. All right, what kind of signs give you multiply to give you a negative?
Negative. Positive.
There you go. Positive and negative, or negative, positive, doesn't matter. And what's the square root of 225 go? 15. There you go. 625 was 25. All right, number 3. How many terms does number 3 have? 3 terms, so you do factors of the back number. Okay. All right, now you got to be really, really careful, okay? Because they'll both give you 5. Which one adds or subtracts to be 5, but multiplies to be negative 6? 6 and negative 1. Very good. Positive 6 and negative 1. Very nice job. All right, number 2. Here we go. This one's a little bit of a doozy. Okay, how many terms do you have? 4. So what do we need to do? We need to group them, right? But here's the thing. When you group these, they don't have anything in common. First 2 doesn't have anything in common, and the second 2 doesn't have any common. The second 2 do, but the first 2 don't. All right? So you can rearrange these so that they're in a different order so that everything has something in common. So what could I put with the x squared instead of putting the AB? The minus bx. There, as long as you take the sign. And if you didn't want to put bx, you could have put an ax if you wanted to, okay? Alright, then all we have left is this right here. So you just write it down. Plus AB minus AX. Now we can group them. Alright, so what do the first two have in common? X leaves me with X minus B. I'm going to bring a plus sign down. And what do the second two have in common? An A. There you go. That leaves me with B minus X. Now, the only problem is they're not in the same order. This is X minus B, and this is B minus X. So I need to rewrite this guy so that they're in the same order. What kind of X is this? Positive or negative? A negative. So you have to rewrite it as a negative, okay? Because you have to take their signs with it. It doesn't say positive X, it says negative X. Alright, now we never ever ever want a leading negative, so what can I do with this guy in the front? There you go, divide it and bring it out here. So instead of plus A, it's going to be minus A. And then instead of minus X, it'll be positive X. And instead of positive B, it'll be negative B. And now they match up. Alright, so what would I write? X minus A and X minus B. Perfect. Very, very, very good. Alright, go ahead and put that up real quick. And let's grab our ACT from yesterday. Let's go over those two problems. Alright, so let's look right here. It gives us a formula right there. And you just have to use that formula, okay? So A sub n is the number they want us to find. What term do they want us to find? The sixth term. So I'm not going to say A sub n, I'm going to say A sub 6. There you go. And if this was n, how much was n again? How much was n again? In our case? 6. So this is n minus 1. So what would I write here? What's 6 minus 1? 5. Then it's got a plus sign. Then it's got a parentheses. What was our n value again? 6. So what's 6 minus 1? 5 squared. Let's write that somewhere, that n equals 6. That's what they're wanting us to do, okay? Alright, now look at this chart they give you. Did they give you an A sub 6? No? Did they give you an A sub 5? Yeah, right here. How much is that? 39. There you go. Plus, you know what that is. That's 25. Add them together. And that's your answer. So how much is that? How much? 64. Very good. There you go. There you go. Alright, number 18 down there. Okay, so let's see. Alright, so look what they give you. They give you 0, 7, right, guys? What's the 0 stand for? X. What's the 7 stand for? Y. And then look what they give you. Y equals negative 2x minus 4, right? Alright, what's this parallel mean? They have the same slope. What's the slope that they have? So right off that, which ones do not have a negative 2? There you go. So all you got is F and G. So let's plug it in. You ready? So instead of Y, I'm going to put what? 7. My slope is negative 2. Instead of X, what am I going to put? 0. And I'm trying to find the new y-intercept. Okay? Because that's the only thing I'm missing out of these two. So what do you see that I can do? There you go. Times them and you get 0. And that is just what kind of 7? Positive or negative? So that is G. You're all okay? All right. All right, so let's put that up. We're going to do a checkpoint really quick. And, oh no, what? All right, here we go. Alright, here we go. So look guys, this is multiplication, okay? So these are a little bit different. You can't just, when we add and subtract, they have to be the same size, right? But when we multiply, it's a little different. What are the dimensions of this first one? 2 by what? How many rows are there?
2 by 2.
How many columns are there? What's the dimensions of this one? 2 by 2, okay? Alright, so here's what has to happen. You ready? The middle two numbers have to match up in order for you to multiply, okay? The middle two numbers have to match up. So somewhere on your paper, you might want to write that note to yourself. Middle two numbers have to match up. Y'all okay with that so far? Okay, do you have your graphing calculator with you? If you don't, you need to go get one. I told y'all, chapter 3, everybody needs to have their own by this time. Otherwise, your life is going to be very, very difficult. So if you don't have one, start looking and getting one, okay? Go ahead and turn it on and get ready to go, okay? Go ahead and turn it on and get it ready to go. Alright, here we go. Do you see right here, you see where the math button is? Right below the green button? Okay, right below that, there's this x squared button, or x to the negative 1 button. What's it say in blue right above that? Alright, now if it's in blue or in yellow, depending on your color calculator, you have to hit that second button first, then that matrix button, and yours pops up something like mine. Your numbers may be a little different, but it's the same kind of screen, okay? Everybody has their graphing calculator doing this with me? Yeah, I know. I gotta wait. The office won't let me buy any stuff yet, so I have to wait a few more weeks to be able to buy some. I have to look on with somebody. Quickly, find somebody to look on with. Alright, so let's do this again. You hit the second button, and you hit the matrix button, okay? Alright, then you go over to edit. Y'all okay so far? Everybody with me? Off your phones, on your calculator. Alright, so you hit enter on the first one. And what's the size of this first one? 2 by 2. Right there, you just wrote it, guys. So you write 2, enter, 2, enter. Alright, what's the first number it wants us to put in? 4. See how the cursor's jumping? What's the next one it wants us to put in? Where's the cursor at? 1, Mario. Very good. Alright, look at the cursor. Where's the next one? -2. And what's the next one? 3. You have to hit enter after each one, okay? Have to hit enter after each one. Y'all okay so far? All right, now we got to put in the second one. So where do we go to put in the second one? Same place. You have to hit second matrix. All right, then you go over to edit, but we are not going to edit the first one this time because we already have something in the first one. So we're going to hit the down button and we're going to edit the second one. What size is the second one? 2 by 2. So 2 enter, 2 enter. All right, we're going to put those numbers in. Y'all okay so far? Y'all understand now why I have been stressing about getting a graphing calculator? Hopefully you will try to get one soon. All right, your calculator is currently in edit mode, right? Because we've been editing these calculators. So you have to hit second, quit. Second in mode, second and quit. One and then the other. Second, quit. And it'll get you back to the main screen. Are y'all okay so far? Alright, now, we need to tell our calculator to multiply those two matrices that we just did, okay? So we go back to second matrix. We are not going to edit. We already have it in our calculator. So you're going to hit enter on the first one. Then we're going to tell our calculator to multiply. And we go back to second matrix. And we're going to tell it to multiply the second one. And then hit enter. Y'all okay? Alright, so what's the answer we're going to write down for number 1? 12, 3, negative 6, and 9. There you go. Alright, let's do number 2. You got to make sure the sizes match up, okay? What's the size of the first one? 2 by 2. What's the size of the second one? 2 by 2. There you go. All right, then grab your calculator because these middle two match up like they're supposed to. All right, here we go. We hit second matrix. We go over to edit. Hopefully everybody's doing this in their calculator because it's not going to do it for you. Hit enter. What's the size of the first one? 2 by 2. Type all those numbers in. Alright, then we go back to matrix, second matrix. We go over to edit. We're not going to edit the first one because we already put the first one in there. We're going to edit the second one. Okay? And the size of that one is a 2 by 2. And we're going to put those numbers in. Y'all okay? Anybody need a second? Alright, your calculator's in edit mode. You have to get it out of edit mode. How do you do that? Second, quit. There you go. And then we need to tell our calculator, hey, I need you to multiply those two matrices that I just put in. So you hit second matrix, enter, times second matrix, and on the second one, hit enter. Now, okay? Negative 3, negative 2, 234. All right, let's write that one down. All right, I want you to try number 3, okay? You try number 3. Yes, ma'am. Your calculator is what? I can't hear you, dear. Why is it not working right? Y'all try 3. All right, for the third one, let me put it in real quick. All right, y'all get that? Sweet. Nina, were you able to enter that, Evan? Okay. All right, let's look at number 4, okay? What's the size of number 4, the first one? 2 by 2. What size of this one? 2 by 3, okay? Do the middle two numbers still match up? That's the only thing that matters, okay? All right, so let's go to our calculator. And we're going to go to second matrix. We're going to go over to edit. The first one's a 2 by 2. And we're going to type these numbers in. All right, then we're going to go back to second matrix. We're going to go over to edit, and we're not going to edit the first one because we already have something in there. We're going to edit the second one, okay? What's the size of the second one? 2 by 3. There you go. And then just be careful where it's highlighted so that you can see what numbers it wants you to type in, okay? Everybody should be typing this in their calculator. I am not doing it for my grade. All right, your calculator's in edit mode. How do you get it out of edit mode? Second, quit. There you go. And then you need to tell your calculator to multiply those for you. So you hit second matrix, enter on the first one, times second matrix, and go down to the second one and hit enter. I get those same numbers? All right, sweet. Here we go. Let's write them down. Notice how I'm lining all my columns up. All my numbers line up. And there's plenty of space in between each one, so it doesn't look like 26 minus 2, okay? All right, what about number 5? What's the size of this first one? 3 by 2 and 2 by 2. Very good. Do the middle two numbers match up? Yes, they do. All right, let's try this one more time. Y'all see if y'all can do number 5, okay? Y'all see if you can do number 5. Plug in number 5. See if you can answer number 5, okay? I'll make sure y'all are taking turns back and forth, okay? Alright, did y'all get those numbers for number 5? Check, make sure you have the same numbers I did. Number 5. Alright, anybody lost? Alright, here's what we're going to do. We are going to finish this up tomorrow. We'll review a little bit tomorrow, and then we'll have a quiz on Thursday, okay? We'll have a quiz on Thursday on all this stuff so far. You might want to invest in your own calculator, because when we start having homework, it's going to be very difficult to do.